So the governor of Puerto Rico, who's a Republican, just sent a letter to Donald Trump begging him, you got to do something about Nicolas Maduro, the leader of Venezuela. Maduro is threatening to invade Puerto Rico. Donald, you got to say something. You got to do something right now. And again, this Republican governor of Puerto Rico, her name is Jennifer Gonzalez, someone sympathetic to Donald Trump, Republican, but what Nicolas Maduro said earlier in the week was, look, Donald Trump's out there talking about conquering Greenland and Panama and annexing Canada. Okay, Maduro says. So if Trump's out there doing that, we want to take over Puerto Rico. And let me be clear, as Donald Trump is threatening our allies, he hasn't called out Victor Maduro by name in any strong way at all, saying, hey, Maduro, you're threatening Puerto Rico. But also, why would Donald Trump do that? Donald Trump has said the most horrific things about Puerto Rico. Donald Trump's treated Puerto Rico like crap during the first Trump administration, during the Trump final event of the campaign when it was referred to as a garbage island. Donald Trump just said, that's just a joke. That was just how comedians are. By the way, there were still a lot of Puerto Ricans who voted for Donald Trump. And as I mentioned, their governor in Puerto Rico is a Republican. So first, let me show you this. This is Nicolas Maduro from this past week. And here he is saying that Brazil under President Lula, they need to use their armed forces or give us their armed forces, then we'll use their armed forces like Simon Bolivar, and we will conquer Puerto Rico. I mean, a direct threat. But he's like, Trump's out there saying this, so we're going to start using more conquest. Not start, they've been using it before, but saying, look, Trump's saying it, so we're going to use this conquest language. Take a look first at what Maduro said. You'll see it on the bottom. Anyway, let's remove any lower thirds so people can see the captions here. I want you to see it for yourself. Here, play this clip.
Así como en el norte tienen una agenda de colonización, nosotros tenemos una agenda de liberación. Y la agenda nos la escribió Simón Bolívar. Está pendiente la libertad de Puerto Rico y la lograremos, Brennan, con las tropas de Brasil. Y Abreu de Lima irá al frente. Batallón Abreu de Lima para liberar Puerto Rico. ¿Qué te parece? ¿Ah?
So then the governor of Puerto Rico, Jennifer Gonzalez, posts the following. Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro called for an invasion of Puerto Rico, an open threat to the United States and our national security. I sent a letter to Donald Trump trusting his administration will swiftly respond and make it clear to the Maduro narco regime that the U.S. will protect American lives and sovereignty and won't bow down to petty, murderous thugs. All right, Governor Gonzalez, I'll show you your letter right here. Dear President Trump, yesterday, just a few days after holding an illegitimate swearing-in ceremony in a desperate attempt to cling on to power in Venezuela, socialist dictator Nicolas Maduro publicly proposed an invasion of Puerto Rico. This is an open threat to the United States, our national security, and the stability of the region. I trust your incoming administration will swiftly respond. Since 1898, Puerto Rico has been an essential part of the United States. We've been proud American citizens since 1917 and have contributed to every aspect of American life, including hundreds of thousands of service members from the island who fought alongside our fellow citizens in every American military conflict since World War I. Contrary to Maduro's and other adversaries' call for independence, the people of Puerto Rico have repeatedly rejected this option. Instead, we have voted to strengthen our union with the United States through statehood, most recently in the November 4th, 2024 plebiscite held alongside our general election. Well, it's ironic. A Republican governor of Puerto Rico, it's the Republicans who don't want to give statehood to Puerto Rico, and it's Donald Trump who's enabling Maduro to do this. But the Republican governor of Puerto Rico is trying to appeal to the Republican president right now, Donald Trump, to do something who has said the most vile things about Puerto Rico in the past. Here's Puerto Rico's new resident commissioner, Pablo Jose. and hear his message to Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro. Someone standing up at least. Here is Pablo Jose. Play this clip.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this past weekend, Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro boldly declared his intention to invade and liberate Puerto Rico. As Puerto Rico's representative before the United States government, I want to let Mr. Maduro know an overwhelming majority of Puerto Ricans support a relationship of permanent union or permanent association with the United States, be that as a state or as a U.S. Commonwealth. That same overwhelming majority also defends the right of a respectable, patriotic minority to advocate and fight for the island's independence through peaceful and democratic means. That respect for differing views is a hallmark of our democratic values, something Mr. Maduro clearly does not understand. Mr. Maduro, the future of Puerto Rico will be decided by Puerto Ricans in a peaceful and democratic manner, the same way that the future of Venezuela should be decided by the Venezuelan people in a peaceful and democratic.
But speaking about standing up, President Biden stood up to Venezuela. President Biden, over the past 2 weeks, invited Edmundo Gonzalez at or around the time of the illegitimate swearing in of Nicolas Maduro. And President Biden said the United States is recognizing Edmundo Gonzalez as the actual leader, the actual president of Venezuela, taking a stand right there. Also, earlier, 2024, when President Biden was speaking before the United Nations, he spoke out powerfully that millions voted for Edmundo and not for Nicolas Maduro. Here, play this clip.
We saw it, that universal yearning for rights and freedom in Venezuela, where millions cast their vote for change that hadn't been recognized. But it can't be denied. The world knows the truth.
By the way, here's the Lincoln Project ad on the Maduro regime and the illegitimate election there. Play this clip.
In Venezuela, democracy finally had a chance. Finally, the voice of the people was heard. Maduro lost. Freedom won. Then Maduro killed it, declared victory, illegally. Where did Maduro learn this trick? From Donald Trump. Trump loves dictators. Maduro learned from Trump that he could lose an election, then lie about it. If you love Maduro, you love what Trump does next.
The Lincoln Project is responsible for the content of this advertising.
And here's Donald Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, saying, look, the reality is that Trump looks up to people like Maduro. Play this clip.
I think he admires leaders like Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un, Maduro in Venezuela, Vladimir Putin, Erdogan in Turkey. They're strong guys, big guys. They do pretty much what they want to do. He'd like to be a big guy too and do what he pretty much wants to do. So that is something that attracts him. But he thinks he has a good relationship with all of these leaders. He thinks he and Kim Jong-un of North Korea fell in love.
So yeah, when Donald Trump is posting, oh, Canada, I want to annex you, or Greenland, we're coming after you, or Panama, we're coming after you, it sends a message to authoritarians, other authoritarians like Nicolas Maduro, like Xi Jinping, who Donald Trump is saying, oh, I'm such a fan of Xi Jinping. We talked about everything. And Vladimir Putin saying, okay, well, then we're claiming territories as well. We're no longer in a rules-based international system led by the United States. It's now going to be the law of who's ever the most powerful. And we're going to be in the law and the land of conquest once again. I mean, you had this clip right here of Russian state TV, their propaganda saying they're referring to Donald Trump as Gramps. And that message comes directly from Putin. And I'll do a whole other video on this. They're going, Gramps, Russia's going to take over Greenland now. We're taking over Greenland. So just think about the damage Trump's already caused to the current international system based on his reckless actions just even before day one. Tell me what you think. hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Appreciate you watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.